You open the fridge tonight and you barely think about it. Cold air hits your face. 100 choices sit in front of you, but your body has no idea what year it is. It is still bracing for famine. And that confusion started with a lie you were probably taught in school. You were probably told ancient humans ate meat. Big slabs of it, roasted over a fire. It fits the caveman in your head. But the real answer is far stranger and far less meaty than you have been led to believe. For most of human history, meat was a gamble, not a guarantee. Hunting large game is hard. It fails more often than it succeeds. Anthropologist Richard Lee studied the Kungsan people of the Kalahari Desert in the 1960s. What he found reshaped how scientists understood the hunter-gatherer diet. The Kung were not living off meat. They were living off plants, roots, nuts, berries, tubers. Meat was maybe 20 to 30% of their calories. Gathering was reliable. Hunting was not. A woman digging for mongongo nuts could count on finding food most days. A man tracking an antelope might walk for hours and come home with nothing. Here is where it gets stranger. Your ancestors were not eating a fixed diet at all. They ate whatever the land offered that season. Researcher Catherine Milton, who studied both wild primates and traditional societies, found that this flexibility was not a side effect of survival. It was the survival strategy itself. Humans thrived not because they found one perfect diet, but because they could eat almost anything. Insects were on the menu too. Termites, grubs, ant larvae. Not as a last resort, but as a regular, calorie-dense food source. Squeamishness is a modern invention built by supermarkets that let you forget where food comes from. So why does the caveman eating a steak image stick so hard? Because it is dramatic. But evolution does not reward a good story. It rewards what kept people alive. And what kept people alive was a brain flexible enough to remember hundreds of edible plants and adapt fast. There is a deeper twist, and it involves your teeth. Paleoanthropologist Peter Ungar studied microscopic wear patterns on fossilized human teeth. Those patterns work like a diary of what someone actually chewed. And the results show no single ancient diet. They show enormous variation. Some populations show wear from tough fibrous plants. Others show wear from meat and marrow. There was never one true ancestral diet. There were thousands, shaped by geography. So the real question is not, what did ancient humans eat? It is, what could they eat when they had to? And the answer is almost everything. That flexibility is baked into your biology right now. Fire changed the equation too, and not how you might expect. Primatologist Richard Wrangham has argued that cooking, not hunting, was the real turning point in human evolution. Cooked food is easier to digest. It delivers more usable calories. That spare energy, he argues, may have helped fuel the growth of a bigger brain, not the meat, the fire. The defining human food was not an ingredient. It was a technique. Now, here is the part that should sit uncomfortably with you. Famine was not rare. It was expected. Your body evolved where food scarcity was the near certain norm, not the worst case. That is why your body still hoards fat so efficiently. That is why sugar and fat feel like triumph to your brain. You are not weak for craving a donut. You are running ancient software in an environment it was never built for. Back then, a tree full of ripe fruit was a rare jackpot of calories. Today, that same reward fires walking past a bakery, except the jackpot is everywhere now, and your brain has not caught up. You are not broken. You are ancient. It only looks like a malfunction because the world changed faster than your biology could. So the next time you stand in front of a fridge lit up with more food than any hunter-gatherer band saw in a month, remember what your ancestors actually relied on. Not meat alone, not one perfect diet. Flexibility, the ability to eat roots when there was no antelope, insects when there were no roots, whatever the land offered when nothing else was left. You open the fridge tonight and you barely think about it. But somewhere underneath that easy choice A much older mind is still running the same calculation it always has. Eat now, because scarcity might be coming.